Washington Wizards select John Wall. The Cleveland Cavaliers select Kyrie Irving. The Washington Wizards select Kwame Brown.
I'm Ben Spicer of Wannabe Draft Analyst. Without a doubt, in the 2015 NBA Draft, the two top point guard prospects are D'Angelo Russell of Ohio State and Emmanuel Mudiay, who spent the last season playing in China. Both are great point guards, and it'll be interesting to see which one can have the better career in the NBA. In today's episode, I'm going to be comparing and contrasting both players and their attributes. Without further ado, I'm going to get into some information of both players, and then we'll look at some highlights of both. As you can see in the head-to-head statistics, both D'Angelo Russell and Emmanuel Mudiay match up pretty well. D'Angelo Russell played most of the season as a shooting guard, while Emmanuel Mudiay played most of the season as a point guard, although they did split time between shooting guard and point guard as well. In this video, I'm going to look at areas of both D'Angelo Russell and Emmanuel Mudiay's game and compare and contrast those areas, as well as using those areas to determine which player will be better in the NBA. As far as scoring is concerned, I think D'Angelo Russell holds the advantage over Emmanuel Mudiay at this point. Remember that D'Angelo Russell spent the majority of his time at The Ohio State University as a shooting guard rather than a point guard, so his numbers are probably more better than Emmanuel Mudiay's because of that fact. Emmanuel Mudiay seems to be a true point guard, while D'Angelo Russell's more of a combo type of guard, and his ability to score allows him to be that combo guard. So without question, I think D'Angelo Russell has the better scoring ability, although Emmanuel Mudiay has shown his ability to create offense as well. In terms of scoring, the advantage goes to D'Angelo Russell. In terms of passing and being a true point guard, I would give the nod to Emmanuel Mudiay at this point. As we mentioned in the scoring segment, D'Angelo Russell spent the majority of his time at the shooting guard position, so he didn't get the chance to develop per se as a point guard in college. Emmanuel Mudiay spent all of his time at point guard overseas with China, and he's great at finding his teammates. But don't sleep on D'Angelo Russell's passing ability either. Both players are great in terms of passing the ball and finding their open teammates, so it's going to be interesting to see which one can translate to be the better point guard in the NBA, and if D'Angelo Russell has any struggles being a true point guard in the NBA if the team that drafts him does indeed decide to play him at point guard. As far as passing is concerned, I've given the nod to Emmanuel Mudiay. It's hard to give the nod to either Emmanuel Mudiay or D'Angelo Russell as far as rebounding goes. Emmanuel Mudiay averaged just over 6 rebounds per game, and D'Angelo Russell averaged near 6 rebounds per game. Both guards are capable of pulling down rebounds because of their size. Emmanuel Mudiay is 6'5", and D'Angelo Russell is 6'4". For rebounding, it's hard to give either player the advantage. Defensively, it's hard to pick either Russell or Mudiay as well. Both players have shown defensive lapses at times over their careers, but their athleticism will allow them to be great defensive players at the NBA level if they continue to improve their defensive game. I'm intrigued to see which player will step up on the defensive side of the ball and try to become a more well-rounded player in the NBA, because both have the skill set to be great defensive players if they show the effort on that side of the ball. Neither player separates themselves from one another on the defensive side of the ball either. Intangibles are an area that we don't normally discuss on this show, but I think it's important when taking into consideration both Russell and Mudiay. Mudiay definitely is more athletic than Russell, but Russell has shown more leadership ability and intangibles on the floor. It seems like when he played with Ohio State, he was definitely the leader of the team despite being a freshman. That's something that will definitely carry over into the NBA, and I think for now that's something that definitely separates Russell from Mudiay in terms of being the better player at this point in time. In my opinion, the intangibles are what makes D'Angelo Russell a better player. He seems to be more of a leader on the court up to this point. Overall, I think D'Angelo Russell is a better player than Emmanuel Mudiay at this point in time. Without a doubt, the two best point guard prospects in this year's NBA draft class are Emmanuel Mudiay and D'Angelo Russell. However, at this point, I have to give the nod to D'Angelo Russell as being the better player. I think he's more well-rounded up to this point, although both players are capable of being superstars at the next level. I can't wait to see both of them match up against one another. I don't know about you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Wannabe Draft Analyst. I'm Ben Spicer. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos on this year's NBA Draft. Thank you for watching, as always.